Hello everyone, welcome to OPSC study. Today is 14th of February and we will look into the Hindu current affairs. तो आज जो करंट अफेयर अच्छी फर्स्ट हूँ सेंटर रूल्स आउट एमएसपी लॉ आपन जानते रिसेंटली द फार्मर्स प्रोटेस्ट इज गोइंग ऑन इन दिल्ली एंड अराउंड दिल्ली related to minimum support price. We have already dealt with this minimum support price किंतु ताकू आउ थरे मु रिकैप कर दोछि. Minimum support price it started during 1965 and 66. Why this MSP started? In order to incentivize farmers for cultivation of certain crops. Fine. So government gives this MSP in order to incentivize farmers for cultivation of certain crops. How many crops are there? Is right now there are 23 crops that are covered under minimum support price. 14 of them are kharif crop, 6 of them are rabi, and rest is commercial crop. One more information related to MSP is the forest produce, the minor forest produce, that is MFP. Minor forest producer also covered under minimum support price. However, the contention that is going on is related to giving a legal backing to MSP. Right now, MSP is decided by CACP. This organization or this institution decides the MSP price. Okay. However, there is no statutory law to give a legal backing to minimum support price. Means the farmers cannot claim minimum support price as their legal right. So farmers around Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh and Punjab are demanding that the MSP should be made MSP should have a legal backing and a law should be framed and passed to give MSP as a legal right for the farmers. However, there are many issues. Okay, why the center is actually not willing to give MSP a legal frame or bringing into a legal frame? Because once you give any crop or MSP a legal backing, then no matter what your financial condition of the nation is, you have to procure that amount of paddy or that amount of cereals or oil seeds or whatever, because that will be challenged in the court as a legal right. For that reason, the government is not willing to bring MSP into a law. Okay, so we will look into what are the challenges. There are few challenges that is related to MSP and it is purely from the men's point of view. First is MSP, there is no robust procurement policy as such. Okay, related to procurement. See, the government every year they declared or notify that a certain amount of paddy or a certain amount of oilseed or whatever we will procure, but that notification never complied by the government. So the procurement policy is not taken into consideration when procurement is done. Okay, so there is no proper procurement policy. This is one issue with minimum support price. Another is there is improper supervision of food imports. Once you start importing food, then the farmers, those who are cultivating in our country, they have to compete with foreign products, and as a result of which they will not garner, or their bargaining capacity will decrease. So we don't have a proper supervision policy related to the food input, which is imports, which is causing farmers distress, and their product are not getting their expected amount of gain. Apart from that, the cost evaluation by CSCP is improper. Cost evaluation issue by CACP. Already we know that CACP decides the MSP price, but the cost evaluation is not proper, because earlier I told you that Swaminathan Commission that gave a formula that A2 plus FL plus C2. You need to consider this C2 part. I told you about what is A2, FL and C2. I will focus on C2. C2 is related to the rent of the land. The land that has every land has a value, and Swaminathan says you need to inculcate this value into the MSP price. So this cost evaluation is not proper by CSCP, which is causing again distress among the farmers. Now the historical, if we see the historical account, then land reform is not proper. Land reform is faulty land reform, and again this procurement policy, both are juxtaposing and creating problem. Many farmers are getting excluded from this MSP, and their demand side, what is the demand in the market, that is also not taken into the consideration, for which the farmers are demanding all such demanding for a legal backing. But the center is actually ruling out about MSP. We will do a special session on MSP, because this is important for our mains point of view, and every year question will definitely ask from MSP and farmers issue. And even if not direct MSP question we asked, if farmers issue also asked, then you have to inculcate this MSP issue into your answer. So we will look MSP in detail. Next is a clause, this FETA. Only as a fancy word we can take this current affair. FETA, FETA. It's related to free trade agreement. Free trade agreement between India and Europe. Okay. FETA, because I think earlier this question has been asked that FETA is free trade agreement between which two country? It's between India and Europe. Another is TEPA. It is also related to TEPA. Let's keep this word again in mind. This trade and economic partnership agreement. Trade and economic partnership agreement. This is also between India and Europe. So from the name itself you can decipher that this is related to free trade agreement, that our trade become free, and the tax and duties and custom duties, import duties, that should be reduced, so that our export and import can be seamless and easy to carry out. So this FETA and TEPA, okay, both are terms which had already been asked in the examination. And what is the OPSC trend is that they are fetching question from UPSC. Okay, previous year question from UPSC are being asked in the OPSC. So we need to have we need to put UPSC question into consideration also while doing our current affairs. So this is FETA and TEPA. It's all related to EU. Okay, so these are the two important current affairs from the front page. Next, look into the there is no other current affair that we should cover. Next we will cover this. Only again, I just want to introduce a word, that is quiet diplomacy. I'm actually including this word because you can use it in your mains. One more word is that soft diplomacy that you may have known. What is soft diplomacy? That, see, in diplomatics, in geopolitics, you have defense, you have strategic alliance, you have communication alliance, infrastructure, and many other issues that you know go on. However, soft diplomacy is another thing. For example, yoga is a soft diplomacy. Bollywood is a soft diplomacy. Music, culture, people to people contact, and showcasing your culture, your products, all these are called the soft diplomacy. Apart from trade, apart from defense partnership, soft diplomacy plays an important role in geopolitics and your diplomatic acumen. So, therefore I think this quiet diplomacy can also be a good term to inculcate in your mains answer. Quiet diplomacy means without any rhetoric, without any chest beating, without any exchange of bribes and words. If you are quietly doing your diplomacy, silently you are carry forward your whatever the agenda is with the nation, then you can also triumph in the diplomatic arena. The example being India and Qatar. This is related, you may have known this news that 9 of our Navy officials were earlier given death penalty in Qatar, right? But the embassy and the diplomatic channel between India and Qatar is so strong that without going to the ICJ, what we had done in case of Kulbhushan Yadav case, the diplomats of India and Qatar, they sat together. The Prime Minister and the head of the state of Qatar, they sat together and just they tried to resolve the issue. The result being this death penalty of 9 Navy officials were quashed and they were set free. Okay, so this is an example of quiet diplomacy, that without going to any international forum, without doing all kind of rhetoric and bhashanbaji, if you can quietly go and sit together and talk, then many of the issues will be solved. So this is an example. You can cite in ethics paper. If we will see what kind of question, whether they are giving international affair question this year mains or not, and after that we can realign our current affair preparation. But you can use this quiet diplomacy term in ethics. Now this is I am just introducing this opinion not from the examination perspective, from the perspective of sociology, that the scientific broad, these scientific things, what they do, they believe in empiricism. Empiricism means based on facts and experiments. Facts and experiment. What the author is trying to say, that you are celebrating science from a rational perspective based on facts and experiments, but to whom you are servicing this science? For the people only, and people are driven by emotions, they are driven by motives, there are subjective conception in their mind. But what science does, science always talks about facts and experiments, and consider and approach issues as an object. But human beings are not object, they are subjects. So humanities is required along with science. Okay, for example, you are creating a dam. From a scientific perspective, what you see, what should be the height of the dam, how many gates there should be, how many cubic liter or whatever water should be discharged from that dam. This is all about science, but you need to look into how many people are being displaced, how many of them are suffering through mental trauma, how the cultural lag is actually coming into their life. So all these are the things that you are considering human being as a subject. So this is all about the opinion by the author. Okay, from us. So what he tries to suggest is that with scientific temper you need to have humanities along. Okay, both should coexist to in order to give any policy formulation a right direction. This is what the author is trying to say. Now we will move into the next current affair, this old-fashioned credibility by India and UAE. The author is trying to highlight what all the development that has taken place between India and UAE. We will look India and UAE relation from a bullet points perspective, and we will just touch some of them. Like that, that the author is saying that in COP 28, this conference of party 28th conference of party UNFCCC was held in UAE, and Indian Prime Minister attended this conference of party, this meeting. One second, UAE and India, their partnership is based on trust and credibility. We trust each other and we are credible partners. We have convergence of strategic interest. These are the words you can use in the mains. The convergence of strategic interest. How? The Middle East is right now burning. There are Houthi attacks. Israel and Palestine conflict is going on. The Arabs are divided. In one way there is Iran, in the other way the Saudi and UAE and the Gulf nation. So this this geopolitical tussle that is going on Middle East, India can be act as a tie broker, and with India and UAE partnership developing to next height, we can bring in stability and tranquility in the area. Apart from that, I had already introduced to you this IMEC project, the India and Middle East and Europe economic corridor, where UAE is also an important partner in this IMEC project. So we have a convergence of strategic interest in the Gulf region, and UAE can be a big player. The UAE head of the state, he visited India in the G20 summit. Again, one diplomatic advancement. A temple is already built in UAE, and the Prime Minister is there in UAE in order to inaugurate this temple. So the 35 lakh Indians, those who are living in UAE for their bread and butter, this is a kind of outreach program that Hindu temple is there in UAE. So UAE is opening its society for everyone. Another is there is a project that is going on called Bharat Mart. Okay, and the Prime Minister will inaugurate this Bharat Mart also, which is also, this visit is also called Ahlan Modi, welcome Modi. Ahlan means welcome, welcome Modi. So what does this Bharat Mart will do? It will boost the export of MSME, the micro small medium enterprises that is there in India. It will encourage them to export things to UAE, and this Bharat Mart will accord them many different shops and retail shops for promotion of their products. So with all this, let us see what is the economic progress. UAE is the third largest trading partner and second largest export destination for India. Okay, it is second largest export destination, it's third largest partner, a trading partner. Again, UAE is also important for energy security, because we are dependent upon 85% of our crude oil import, and Gulf region is like Qatar, UAE, Saudi. These are the countries with whom we are depending upon for our energy security. So UAE can play a big role in our energy security, and there are many companies, those who are actually willing to invest in our gift city, okay, which is there in Gujarat. So this is all about UAE and India relationship. We need to have these short points in our mind so that we can write answer from contemporary. What is contemporary, what is currently going on between India and UAE, that we can highlight. Okay, next we will look into this right of forest dweller. Again, this is actually a news relating to some kind of protest that is going on in Periyar region. The tribal are saying that our rights are being actually scrutinized. So you know about Forest Right Act 2006. In the Forest Right Act 2006, tribal people are given certain right, and Gram Sabha is the most important authority uh, to give this right, to accord this right to the tribal people, and their rights are protected under this act. However, recent notification says that no grazing will be done. No grazing. However, grazing is a right for this tribal, because they will definitely have their cattle around, and if they are seized this right of grazing from their land, then how can they survive? So in order to oppose this particular notification, this news has been covered. We don't have to look about the news. This is a news that is related to the forest dweller, and I have covered this. What is important for me is there is a news related to RLC, and this sea is shrinking due to climate change and human intervention. Why I'm covering this news is this particular C, it was asked in UPSC question earlier, and the question was like this: which of the following, the recently which of the following lake was or sea was in news for its shrinkages and all, and one of the option was RLC. Let us look the position of RLC. This is RLC, and is shared two countries, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Okay, earlier it was happened to be the fourth largest lake in the world. However, the shrinking is right now going on due to climate change and human intervention. So this is all related to RLC. This is only important, that which are the countries that share border with RLC. Let us look at another current resource, Swati. Swati is an initiative. These all are the one-liners. Swati is an initiative related to science for women. Science for women. What this initiative will do, it will collect all the data related to the participation of women in science. Participation of women in science. Okay. Again, it will also highlight gender parity, gender equity in science and tech. So if this term comes, that Swati initiative is related to what? It is related to science for women. This is one liner, and related to this there are certain initiative that is going on for empowerment of women in health sector, women and child development in health sector. And what are they? MAA, mother's absolute affection. It is to encourage breastfeeding. Okay. Apart from that, there is Nutrition Rehabilitation Center, NRC, Nutrition Rehabilitation Center, to cater to the need of the malnourished children. Malnourished children. Okay. Then Anemia Mukt Bharat. Anemia Mukt Bharat. To cope this anemic children, those who are deficient in iron. The National Deworming Day is also celebrated. National Deworming to address the soil transmitted helminth infection, deworming for the children. So all these are going on for the health. Ayushman Bharat, the women are given priority for their health checkup and all. Okay, so this is all for today's current affair. See, the election is around, and most of the news are related to political parties. Most of the news are related to this jumping from one party to another, taking U-turns. Okay, so very less number of initiatives and environment related or science and technology related current affair is coming. Therefore, I'm trying hard to find out and fetch as much current affair as possible that are only relevant for your examination. So this is all for today. I hope this will help you. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.